Ellipse is the set of all points x, y such the sum of their distances from two fixed points is a constant. And that's constant is what we call, each point is called focus or foci. Two axes of symmetry, the major and the minor. In the major, we found the vertex, and then in the minor, we found the co-vertices. The center of the ellipse is the midpoint of both major and minor. Kung saan po magmi-meet yung dalawang vertex, yung dalawang co-vertices, yung dalawang foci, yun po yung center of the ellipse. The foci always lie on the major axis. Same with parabola. Focus found in front of the vertex. We have this formula, x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equals to 1 if the ellipse is in horizontal. While in vertical, we have x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared is equals to 1. And then A is a vertex, B is the co-vertices. We use this equation if the center of the ellipse found at the origin or the coordinates is 0, 0. So the A and B interchange, it depends on where the ellipse is. If the longer axis is in X, meaning our vertex found under X. If our ellipse is vertical, meaning the longer axis is in Y, meaning our vertex found under Y. Example number 1, vertices 0, positive, negative 3, and our foci at 0, positive, negative 2. 0 is our x, meaning we have our y, which is positive and negative 3. So our ellipse is in vertical. So A found in under y axis plus y, then our A squared equal to 1. So, okay, to find the value of A, to find the value of B and C, we have this one. Okay po. From vertex 1 to vertex 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many step that we made? 6. Divide to 3. So our A is 3. Then squared, we have 9. B, co-vertices is not given, but we have C. C, from here, foci, focus 1 to focus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps divided by 2. The answer is 2. Then C squared is 4. To get the value of co-vertex, we have this formula, C squared is equals to A squared minus B squared. C squared is 4. A squared is 9 minus B squared. Combined like terms, transpose positive 9, it will become negative 9 plus 4 equal to negative B squared. Negative 9 plus 4, we have negative 5 equal to negative B squared. Then divided by, or divide both sides by negative. So we have B squared is 5. So B squared is 5. In that, we can have our equation, standard equation for ellipse. B squared is 5 plus y squared over A squared is 9 equal to 1. So that's the standard equation of our ellipse in example number 1. Example number 2, we have positive, negative 6, 0. We have our x, which is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our ellipse is in horizontal form. Found in the longer axis is in x, meaning our A or our vertex under x, plus y squared over b squared is equals to 1. Our A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From vertex 1 to 2, we made 12 steps. Divide to 6. And then our A squared, 6 times 6, 36. B, we don't have our B, but we have C, or the focus, or the foci. 2, positive 2 and negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 steps, divide 2. We have 2. And then C squared is 4. And that, to get the value of our B squared or covertices, we have this formula again. C squared is equals to A squared minus B squared. C squared is 4. Our A squared is 36 minus B squared, transpose or combined like terms. Negative 36 plus 4 is equal to negative B squared. Negative 36 plus 4, we can have negative 32 is equal to negative B squared. Divide both sides by negative 1. So we have B squared is equals to 32. Next, substitute the value. X squared over our A squared is 36 plus Y squared. Our B squared is 32 equal to 1. And that's the standard equation of our ellipse and example number 2. Okay, what if our vertex or the center of the ellipse is not in the origin? So we have this formula, x minus h quantity squared over a squared plus y minus k quantity squared over b squared is equals to 1 if the major axis is in horizontal. And then x minus h quantity squared over b squared plus y minus k quantity squared over a squared is equals to 1 if the major axis is in vertical or in the y-axis. Again, if horizontal, our longer axis is in x-axis, meaning our vertex found under x. Vertical y-axis, meaning our A found under y. Okay, and then to get the value of B or our covertices or foci or the vertex, we use this formula. C squared is equals to A squared minus B squared. Example number 3, negative 2, negative 8, negative 2x. Our x is negative 2, and then our y is negative 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here. And then the vertex number 2 is negative 2, positive 2. So here. So our ellipse is in vertical form. So we use this one, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared. Vertical meaning in the y-axis. So our A found under y-axis is equals to 1. Our A is from here. How many steps am I going to make to be at the vertex number 2? Okay, from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 divided 2 is 5. So my A squared is 25. B, no, wala pong given na co-vertex, but we have our foci. Foci, -7. So from here, this is the foci. And then 2 negative, +1. So this is the foci. From foci 1 to foci 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 divide 2 is 4. C squared is 16. And then, kung saan po magmi-meet? From here, vertex 1 to vertex 2, we made 10 steps and then divide 2, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then here, so our center from focus naman, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the center. 1, 2, 3, -3, and -2. So our center is at -2. Our center is at the -2, -3, where the two vertices, two foci meet, or the midpoint of those. Okay po. So in that, we can solve the B squared, or our co-vertices. C squared is 16, equal to A squared is 25, minus B squared. Combined like terms, -25 plus 16 equal to B squared, -B squared. -25 plus 16, we have -9, -B squared, -1, -1, so we have 9. B squared is 9. And then our B is 3. So we have our co-vertices. And then standard form na po tayo, x minus our h is -2. -2 quantity squared over b squared plus y minus k minus -3 quantity squared over a squared is equals to 1. Simplify x minus -2, we can have x plus 2. Quantity squared, our b squared is 9 plus y minus -3, we can have y plus 3. Quantity squared over our a squared is 25 equal to 1. So that's our standard equation of the ellipse, and example number 3.